Hola, welcome to a brand new episode of Beating Faces. I'm April, aka the Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. I hope you guys are having a good day, good week. Guys, I've kind of been in a mood for the past week and I will talk about that. Please wash your hands and your ass. Summer is coming and I would really like to go out. As you can see by the title of my video, it's just wrestling. You know, there has been a lot going on in the wrestling community in the past week, past couple of months, and there are some things I need to talk about. There are some things that I need to point out because I feel it is completely unnecessary. But while I'm talking about that, as you can see, this interesting look I got, I tried to recreate Sasha Banks's eye look that she had at Money in the Bank. I was so in love with it, and I want to start a series where I'm recreating some female wrestlers' looks, and this is one look that stuck out to me this week. I hope I did good recreating this. So if you want to get into the conversation of what has been bothering me in the wrestling community and see how I got this awesome look, stay tuned because damn. What? Alright, so let's get this started. Brows are done, eyes are primed. I just started on this one a little while ago. Sorry, but you didn't miss much. Now, as you all know, I got back into the wrestling scene about two and a half years ago. And before that, when I was watching wrestling, I really didn't have a lot of people to talk wrestling to. So the conversation of when it comes to wrestlers, promoters, Hall of Fame, shows, all that jazz was still new to me. And it's still kind of new to me now. And I didn't realize how negative the wrestling community is. And up to this day, I still don't understand just why. Now, with this past week, when we had Money in the Bank, Becky Lynch announcing her pregnancy, you know, Twitter had its fun, to say the least. And I was just so, yeah. And between, you know, the wrestling talk and everything going on in the world right now, it has been, I'm not gonna lie, it made me kind of upset, started feeling a little negative, and I want to approach this. So instead of me, you know, going outside, pulling a Nyla Rose because of all this going on with this freaking epidemic, it's best that I take that anger and just beat it on my face and talk about it. Because you know what, therapy, they advise, you know, talk. It's okay, you can talk. So I'm going to talk and I'm going to beat this face because I'm kind of over it. You know, I'm not going to lie. When I got back into the wrestling world and started getting into the conversation of wrestling and everything, it was very negative, and unfortunately I fell into the negative trap. Obviously everyone gets into it. Well, there are a good amount of people who don't, and for y'all, please keep it that way, because I fell into the negative trap and I thought it was just something good. Not something good, but I guess something to get attention for, everything. When I was on my last podcast show, which was a popular review, was a podcast live stream. We're all content creators, so same shit, different day. And I used to have a segment called Rant of the Week. Like I said, if you've seen my first video, I did speak about this, and all I did was talk about anything bad that would happen. When AEW started and everyone's complaining about how there were no storylines, started talking about that, I think it was the Hell in a Cell match when that situation happened with Sasha Banks, and I would just have this little show just ranting of what's going on during the week, and I really got tired of it. I got tired of being negative. I got so over it. So with this week, with everything going on, I need to call y'all out. I need to call out y'all negatives out there, because there's obviously no reason for any of this shit to be going on. There's too much negativity in the world. We're all trying to enjoy the same sports entertainment of what we have. And frankly, I'm getting really sick of it. Now, there are a couple of topics that I do want to talk about, because with everything going on, everyone just wants to complain. I mean, this is not the first time, but it's been a little more. Now, with WWE and AEW, you guys have been doing your best trying to give us the best product, and from me, I do appreciate that. Like, we just had Money in the Bank, I think it was this past Sunday, and I enjoyed it, and I really do like the whole cinematic wrestling matches. We did have the women's and the men's Money in the Bank matches going on simultaneously. It was going on in the corporate building of WWE, and I loved it. I really loved it. And of course, we had those
Matt Hardy used to do the cinematic universe in TNA. Meh, 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 meh.
Who cares? Because at the end of the day, everyone's copying somebody. They're bouncing ideas off each other. Once again, it's just wrestling, people. It's just wrestling, and it's very annoying how we have to justify that. Well, us sane people have to justify that, but I don't want to bash you hardcore wrestling fans because I get it. I get it. But at the same time, it's just wrestling, you know? And so like I said, we had the cinematic matches. I loved it. And then we had everyone bashing Baron Corbin for killing Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black. And fuck it, you know what? I was one of the few that said, if no one's getting thrown off this roof, I'm going to be very upset. And of course, who won? Otis from Heavy Machinery won. And I was very happy. You know, he has the best storyline going on in the WWE right now with him and Mandy Rose. And oh my God, everyone was just going off. Not because, well, because Otis won. That's number one. But number two, he is part of a tag team. Now, everyone in the Twitter sphere, in the Facebook sphere, in the Insta sphere, we're just bitching about,
oh, so he has the Money in the Bank, so he's gonna cash in for the tag titles. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're supposed to cash in for the main title. How does it look if Otis is going to be our SmackDown champion?
well, if you guys remember the rules of Money in the Bank, whoever gets the briefcase gets to cash in on a title. A title. Doesn't have to be the main title. Now, this is a first for me, and it's probably a first for everyone. So, once again, we are in an epidemic, pandemic, crisis, whatever you want to call it. WWE is trying things new. You know, they're doing the cinematic universe, which I'm loving, and now we gave Otis the tag titles. Why can't we have that? You know, why is it so bad if Otis, I mean, I don't see Heavy Machinery breaking up anytime soon, but why is it so bad for him to have the briefcase, and if there is a tag match going on, he can cash in? Why is that so horrible? You know, we all need something new, especially around a time like this. This is the first time this is going on where we're experiencing the no audience thing. We're having all these pay-per-views staying at home, which I don't appreciate. Y'all keep reminding us that we need to watch these at home. Yeah, took blood and guts from me. You know, let me stop. I'm still very salty that we're not getting blood and guts, but we are getting a match of that at Double or Nothing, so I am happy about that. But, you know, shit. But why is that so bad? You know, what if they do cash in for the tag titles? It's something different. It's something new. We're always bitching about we need something new. And then when the WWE or any other company gives us something new,
Ew, why are they doing this shit? Why is WWE trying to play us like that?
like, are you serious right now? They're trying to give us something of what we want. And then when they do it, apparently they're not doing it the right way. And to be honest, it's bullshit. It's such bullshit. And I was very happy for Otis to win the tag titles. He deserved it. And everyone that they chose for Money in the Bank, I couldn't see winning. Everyone was wanting Aleister Black to win. I get it. I am an Aleister Black fan. There's nothing really going on, no real storylines going on with him. The same thing with Rey Mysterio, same thing with Daniel Bryan, same thing with Baron Corbin, which I'm not gonna lie, I was going for Baron Corbin only because I wanted to be a jerk. And you know, us wrestling fans, well, you crazy wrestling fans, he's like,
no, this can't happen. Meh.
This is exactly what I hear. You know what I hear in my head when people are just complaining about wrestling? If you guys ever heard cat sex, it's not a pleasant sound. So whenever I read something off Twitter or anywhere on social media about someone complaining, the sounds of cat sex go through my head. And if you haven't heard it, I'm gonna give you a sample of it. Exactly. is just so friggin' annoying. So everyone who they chose for it, okay, everyone was going for AJ Styles, you know, he's AJ Styles, and I get that. I wouldn't have been mad if he won it, but he just had this crazy match with Undertaker. He's doing this heel thing, which I'm loving, by the way. And the way the briefcase fell in Otis's hands is such an Otis thing, especially with his character. He got his woman, he got Mandy Rose, and he's just that doofy, fun-loving guy who, like, things just happen. Like, just weird things happen. So the way it fell in his hands was the perfect way for him to win. That was another thing.
How did he win like that?
He won. Like, it's such an Otis win. So I'm hoping he does cash in for the tag titles. I hope, it doesn't even have to be at a pay-per-view. You know, he can cash it in at any time. So I can't wait to see the story that they have with Otis. And you know what? I do hope that he cashes in for the tag titles. And Heavy Machinery, I love them. I love him and Tucker together. Why not? Just, guys, it's just wrestling. So the next topic I'm going to talk about is what happened after Money in the Bank, and it's the big news. Becky Lynch is pregnant, and Asuka is now your Raw Women's Champion. Now, I was very happy because I love Becky. I'm very happy for her. And I love Asuka, and I'm very happy for her. But the way Becky relinquished her title...
Oh my god! She can't do that! It doesn't work like that! She's supposed to cash in on a match!
Once again, there are different times now. Things are changing. This is something new. Get over it. Now, Asuka is now your Raw Women's Champion, which I'm so happy. But I want to stay on this Becky Lynch thing because everyone and their mother, like I said, was either very happy or very upset. Because apparently there was an issue that Becky, I saw somewhere on Twitter, how Becky can be pregnant by now. Why is she pregnant? Seth Rollins didn't pull out. Now, I get the jokes. We're allowed to have jokes. It's okay to joke around. But there were people who were actually upset that she was pregnant. And it's like, are you serious right now? I mean, Becky has done amazing things in the past, 2-3 years. She's had a really good career. I did watch her stuff when she was in NXT and when she had that match at SummerSlam when she finally turned heel and turned into the man thing. I loved it. I fucking loved it. And now she is your longest reigning Raw's Women's Champion, the first ever Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. She's good. She's about to go do movies. She's about to move on to bigger and better things. So her being pregnant, I don't understand what the problem is, but apparently it's a problem because it was a huge problem from what I saw on Twitter. Now, guys, newsflash. A woman can have a baby whenever she wants. Obviously, this was unexpected. And yeah, she's going to be a mommy. And the baby daddy is Seth Rollins or Vince McMahon because he put it out there that he might be the daddy or he is the daddy. It's very disturbing. I'm not here for it. But you know what? I'm here for her being pregnant. I'm very happy for her. Now let's jump onto the Asuka thing because, oh my God, everyone is just bitching and moaning how, okay, Asuka's your champ. She deserved it. I was going for her in the Money in the Bank. I was either going for her or Lacey Evans. Either her, Lacey Evans, joking around but not joking around Dana Brooke because I'm a Dana Brooke fan. Don't come at me. Just, yeah. Now the whole Asuka thing. Now there has been, not speculation. I don't know why I was going to say speculation, but there are words going around that Asuka she's a GOAT. She is. And to me, I'm here for it. I really do think she's the GOAT. She is now your Raw Women's Champion. She was your SmackDown Women's Champion. Let's go down the list, people. She was a Money in the Bank winner, obviously. Let's see. Royal Rumble winner. Tag Team Champions with Kairi Sane. And she was the first longest reigning women's NXT champion. So what is the definition of a GOAT to y'all? Because to me, if I think of someone who's the GOAT, I'm going to think of people who have done great things in the wrestling world. I mean, people think Becky is a GOAT for what she has been doing. Cool. Charlotte Flair is a GOAT. She's 11-time champion, and now she is still your NXT Women's Champion. Ric Flair, The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena, Chris Jericho, CM Punk. The list can go on and on and on. But the word GOAT stands for greatest of all time. Asuka is the first woman she's a mega grand slam champion. I mean, Bayley was the first one, but Asuka's the mega one for every single accomplishment that you can do in the WWE. And she's the first Japanese woman to do it. Why can't she be in the conversation? And I can understand why some people might think, oh, Asuka can't be in the conversation because a lot of people can't think of memorable moments that Asuka's had. You know, when she was on NXT, she was a beast. She was a beast. I can easily say that because I did see the majority of her NXT run. She joined the WWE. We already knew what was going to happen. She had her thing going on. She won the Royal Rumble. She had an amazing match with Charlotte. Charlotte ended her streak. She had a winning streak all through NXT until she lost the titles. And then got on there. Of course, Charlotte beat her because, you know, she's a Flair. And after that, she hasn't really been in the picture. She won the SmackDown titles at TLC. I think it was a TLC? Yeah, I think it was a TLC if I remember correctly. Then she won the tag titles. And now she's Raw Women's Champion. Now, once again, I know people are like, meh, I don't like how Asuka got it. And it's unconventional. It's different. So why not? And I was all over Twitter because I do follow a nice amount of accounts. And I like to talk to people who have different opinions and different situations. Like I said, we all can have an opinion. I mean, come on. It's a free country. We can say whatever we want. But I did see a couple of accounts and they were like, you know what? I wish they could have done something different. Like, okay, now they can have a competition for who could be the next first contender to fight Asuka for the titles, which would have been pretty cool. CM Punk put it out saying this would have been the perfect opportunity for Asuka to turn heel. You know, Becky giving her the title and she could act all happy and then she could spit the green mist. Becky, you know, claiming, you know, she is going to be a heel champion. But you know what? I think if Asuka knew beforehand, that could have been something, but she didn't. You know, her reaction was very genuine. So yeah, she is your Raw Women's Champion. I don't understand what the problem is. She should be in the conversation of a GOAT. And you guys, if you guys have any different definitions, or come on, prove me wrong. Because apparently there's one definition of someone being the greatest of all time. Come on, let's have a conversation. Because apparently I don't know anything about wrestling according to the internet. I actually got into, I didn't get into an argument with someone, but he kind of got me upset. Now, there was a post on Facebook talking about the Otis thing, how he is, you know, your Money in the Bank champion, and him winning Money in the Bank was stupid. So, of course, I said with my optimistic self, why not? Like I said before, why can't he be champion? I had someone come at me like, that's funny. I can't see him in the title picture. He is not what, the image of what Vince wants. I can't see him like this. Him cashing in the tag titles is stupid. And I had people like laughing. And like, why is that stupid? And I don't understand why is it so funny. And of course, I told one of my wrestling friends, and we and him shared the same thoughts on it. He literally clarified everything I said. He justified it. And that same guy just said, yeah. So someone else can say something about whatever I'm talking about, and they're good from a guy. But because I'm a woman, I have to be questioned. And I don't want to get into the conversation about men versus women, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to be straight up with it. And I should be working on my eyeshadow right now, but I'm like really getting into this conversation now. Now we have that conversation of women and sports, or sports entertainment, if you will. I just laugh. I laugh because for years upon years upon years, wrestling has been a male-dominated sport. The few women that watched wrestling probably didn't really talk about it because, you know, it's a guy thing. And we all know how they portrayed women back then, but we are in a day and age where the women are killing it. They are in the conversation. We can say who is who we can put as, you know what? I liked her when she was in the Hall of Fame. I liked her when she was doing this. I really underestimated her, you know, going on. And now a lot of us female fans are coming out to have an opinion, all hell breaks loose because we're women and because we don't know anything. Now, I'm not coming at you guys. I'm not. Hear me out. I'm not coming at you guys, but this conversation could go on and on and on. It could go back to the olden days about that, but I really do not appreciate that, you know. And another thing, you talk wrestling to somebody and you don't know a fact and they just yell and scream at you like, I'm sorry. And that's one thing I hate about this fucking community. And I'm sorry that I'm getting a little defensive right now, but it's complete bullshit. You know, you hear someone and they say there's a wrestling fan, you ask them, who's your favorite wrestler? They mention someone right now, ew, that's your favorite wrestler? And these could go back, like, oh, like for example, one of my main favorite wrestlers is Stone Cold. I grew up with Stone Cold, we all did. But when someone asks me about something that happened back then, I tell y'all straight out, I was very in and out of wrestling. I missed out on a lot. And if I miss a fact, I will get so much shit. It's like you say you're a wrestling fan and people expect you to have to watch everything from the 80s, from how everything started, should know every single pay-per-view, should know every single thing. It doesn't work like that. Like for me, you ask me about a pay-per-view that happened in the 90s, and we're like, wait, what? This happened? I'll look it up. Like, you know what? I'll check this out. I don't want to be punished for being a fan about something. And that is, it's annoying. It's very frustrating. And it's fans like that that makes this community very toxic. You know, you guys sound like a bunch of fucking cornets. No! A lot of Jim Cornettes out there who always have something to say, how this wasn't right. This is not wrestling. Blasey, blasey, blasey. Hello? We are in a new day and age, and I cannot stress this, and I'm going to keep saying it because this is year 2020. WWE has been around for 40 years. We have many companies now. A lot of indie companies. We got a brand new one, AEW, who is still a baby, still getting their feet wet, and it's still a problem. It's like, why can't we just like wrestling? Why can't I meet somebody and say, hey, I like wrestling? And if they ask me something that I don't know, I'm like, oh, I don't remember that. What year was that? Let's have a conversation. How about you educate me on what you know? Like, for example, if you're a WWE mark and I missed a pay-per-view from like a few years ago, oh, tell me about it. Get me interested in to go back and watch it. And if you are someone who is new to the indie scene, new to AEW, new to some of these wrestlers that you're not familiar with, I'll tell you about them. Let's have a conversation. We don't need to bash each other because of things that we don't know, because of products that we like. It's just wrestling, people. It's just wrestling. It's not rocket science. All right, so I am talking way too much, so I'm going to finish my eyes and I'll be right back. All right, and the eyes are done. I'm sorry, I kind of got started with my concealer. You have no idea how much, this took a lot to do. I mean, blending these colors and everything, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go back on the eyes to blend more, but Sasha Banks really, she killed this look and I wanted to redo it. It's coming out nice. I'm getting there, but this is my therapy session. Like, this is my therapy and I'm talking about everything that's going on. So I need to mention this before I came back on. It's just a little short story. I guess it is related to what I've been talking about when it comes to diehard wrestling fans and stuff like that. So I follow this group on Instagram. I'm not going to call them out. And they posted up a quote from CM Punk, and basically he said it would have been dope if Asuka was still in her heel turn, and instead of praising Becky because she's pregnant, it would have been cool to spray the green mist on her. Now, I personally don't know what that mist is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's very harmless, but you know, Becky's in the beginning of her pregnancy, so obviously they didn't want that to go down. And we haven't had mega heel Asuka in a while, ever since she had the titles with Kyrie. So basically he said if she was still in her heel turn, her heel gimmick, that would have been cool. And I said that would have been cool if Asuka knew beforehand and Asuka was still in her heel turn. thing would have been cool. Not with the whole green mist thing, but something like that, you know? And this diehard Becky fan gets on. Like I said, I wasn't going for the whole mist thing, but it would have been cool. That's what I'm talking about. You know, us as wrestling fans, we always talk about our dream matches, our dream segments, and how a segment can go differently. Like I said before, instead of giving Asuka the title, they could have done, you know, a number one contender match and they fight Asuka for the titles, you know, a conversation. So this diehard Becky fan comments on my comment. Now, I'm not the person, I don't like to start problems. I'm not one of those fans who like to go on the internet and cause problems and controversies, because I think it's stupid. I think fighting over the internet is very stupid, to be honest. I don't do that. So this fan basically comments under my status and said, no, that would have been wrong because Becky's pregnant. I'm aware that she's pregnant. So like I said, I don't like arguing over the internet, but there are just some people you cannot have conversations with. I don't know this person. And I said, no, I understand that. I know that she's pregnant, but it would have been cool if Asuka would have done something heelish. So she kept repeating herself. She can't do that because she's pregnant. She can't do that because she's pregnant. And I'm over here like, okay, I'm done talking to you because all you keep saying is that she's pregnant. I just said it would have been cool if that would have not that exactly, but if Asuka was still in her heel thing, it would have been cool. And she just kept saying she's pregnant. So thankfully the person in the group started commenting on my status and saying, how many times are you going to say, well, I said, how many times are you going to say she's pregnant? And she goes, you're not clarifying what you just said. Like, you're just constantly saying that she's pregnant. And I'm just over here like, okay, she's pregnant. And I just stopped answering because she just kept saying, well, that's wrong because she's pregnant. Meh, 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 meh. So I stopped because obviously there's no way I'm going to get through this woman. I'm not trying to get through anybody. I just said something and she just keeps saying this stupid thing. Homegirl decides to send me a private message, a DM, and she just messages me saying, I can't justify that. I'm justifying the fact that she's pregnant. Dude, I just said in the comments, I'm done. This conversation is over. I get it that she's pregnant. Like, what the hell? And she just keeps saying it over and over. Oh, she's pregnant. And then she starts going in on how I'm not a Becky fan because if I was a Becky fan, I wouldn't want that to happen to her. And it's like, okay, you're clearly one of those fans. You're a mark. It's not that. I mean, I'm just, I'm sorry. I'm just like, okay, you're a mark. I mean, we're all marks. I'm proud to say I'm a mark. I'm a wrestling mark. I love it. I will defend whoever I love. But there are some marks out there who are just so, how do I say this nicely? I don't think it's a way. Kind of, I don't want to say obsessed, but yeah, let's say obsessed. Let's just say obsessed. And this person was just going off on how I'm not a Becky fan because if I was a Becky fan, I wouldn't want her to get sprayed by green mist because she's pregnant and this, that, and the third. So I was just like, sweetie, conversation's over. You made your point. Have a good day. And she kept messaging me how I'm a hater and how I'm not a real Becky fan. And I'm just like, okay, so obviously I blocked her. And this is the shit that gets me somewhere. Oh, by the way, guys, this is something new. So learn. This is color contour, not color contouring. This is liquid contouring, you know, whatever. But I'm pretty sure when I blend this out, I'm not going to be able to talk. So let me keep on going. So that's the shit that I'm talking about. Some of these fans just be on a whole nother level and they get sucked into this whole wrestling thing. And I understand that, you know, if you love a fan, not fan, pause. So this is the thing that I'm talking about. Now, I'm not really big into sports. I think the main sport that I watch outside of wrestling is baseball and sometimes football, but only during the Super Bowl. And I can understand die-hard fans. I get it. Believe me, I get it. When you love something, and it's not even just of sports. It could go for anything, you know, actors, you know, movies, you know, people get obsessed with anything. So I get it, especially some of these wrestling fans. Like, believe me, I get it. I have my wrestlers who I love and I will defend, but I'm not gonna go and bash someone and tell them that they're not a fan because of something they said. Like, it's really not that serious, bro. It's not. So these fans, I don't want to be mean, but I feel y'all should take a step back and realize that this is just wrestling. They're people just like you and I. And I get it. You want to defend who you love, but sometimes to be on a whole nother level. I mean, they're people. They train to be wrestlers. It took me a minute. It really took me a minute because, like I said, I just got back into wrestling. So when I started going to indie shows and having opportunities to meet some wrestlers, I used to get nervous. I'm like, oh my God, they're like right there. And then after a while and talking to people, they're like, they're just like people. They're people. They're like you and I. They just so happen to work and do this crazy sport that we all love. And once I met a few indie wrestlers, and I'm like, oh my God, they're just like us. And I just went along with it. But now that, I'm into this world and I get the idea, but there are some fans out there who are just so sucked in and they want to defend their wrestlers. And I love that. That's cool. But sometimes you gotta calm the fuck down. I mean, I'm just saying, it's just wrestling. Now, speaking of these crazy wrestling fans, I need to bring this up, and this is one thing I hate. I hate this so much, it's not even funny. Now, we have those crazy wrestling fans who will defend their favorite wrestlers to the T. And I know you wrestlers, you appreciate it. I mean, come on, we're your fans. We watch you. You're on TV doing these crazy things. All of us wish, I kind of wish I could do some of that stuff, but I know I can't. And then there are some of those fans who just love to antagonize. And I'm pretty sure it's not just in wrestling. Obviously it's not just in wrestling, but some of these people get pleasure out of antagonizing wrestlers. Now, some of these wrestling fans, I know when you guys watch wrestling, you love it. You love it. And, we always want to talk about it. And thankfully, we're lucky enough to be on social media with some of these wrestlers. And a lot of these wrestlers have Twitter and Instagram. And we're thankful, at least I am, that we can follow them. Follow their journeys, and if there's shows coming up or meet and greets, we will know through there. So I think it's pretty cool. But then there are some fans who just love to antagonize these wrestlers based on the product. Now, like I said, once upon a time, I was a negative Nancy, and whenever something didn't go right by one of my favorite wrestlers, I would just blame them. Especially with WWE. And, for some time now, WWE has been meh. Lately it's been pretty good, at least to me. But there are just some fans who just love to go off. And especially on the heels. Now, I don't know what it is, but people just love to go on, especially Twitter. Because Twitter is the toxicity of the wrestling community. On Facebook, you have these wrestling groups. You can always leave them and things like that. But Twitter, you have your tweet out there, and let's say you're not following that person, and let's say they go off on, let's say, Baron Corbin, or, well, I saw one with Baron Corbin, so let's use him as an example. They're going to pop up on my timeline, and they just love to get at this man. And wrestlers, whether you're a face or a heel, your purpose is to get a reaction, because if you get no reaction from anybody, you suck. That's basically the rule. So, especially with these heels, and some of these people just like to go off on these heels, and they love to tag them and shit, and that's one thing I hate. If you're angry about something, I get it. We got the internet, freedom of speech, blasey blasey, all that freaking crap. Go off. It's the internet. But you shouldn't have to tag the wrestler on your freaking status on why you're mad. Like, for example, I started doing this channel and I am on social media. By the way, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm nice. Believe me, I am nice. This is my therapy session. I'm just going off. Now, for example, I started my channel and I'm on Twitter and I like to live tweet whenever I'm watching WWE or AEW, whether if it's negative or positive, but I try to find like, you know, funny stuff to tweet about because there's too much negativity on Twitter, right? And whenever I post clips, you know, from my show, and if I talk about a certain wrestler, or if it's a love and makeup look or something that's going on, I sometimes will tag the wrestler in it. Now, will they see it? There's a big possibility that they won't because they probably get tagged in thousands and thousands of statuses a day. That's fine if I do not get a reaction. Sometimes if you post up cool things, you'll get retweeted. Like, for example, I've been retweeted by Chris Jericho a couple of times, Ref Aubrey from AEW. And it's just little things. I posted up a tweet last week of Ref Aubrey's makeup, and I didn't expect her to like it, but she did. And she retweeted me, and it's like, oh my God, that's so cool. You know, we do have that opportunity to interact with some of these wrestlers, and that's really great for us. But there are some fans who get so sucked into the whole heel babyface thing, like I said, especially with the heels. And they'll just post up these angry freaking tweets about them. And then they'll tag them in them. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you being asked to be blocked? Now, there are some people who want to be blocked. And then they want to have the meaning or the saying, oh, so-and-so blocked me on Twitter. What are you getting out of that? Why is it such an honor for you to be blocked by someone on social media, whether they're famous or not? I don't understand that. And people will praise about it like, oh, Baron Corbin blocked me, Kenny Omega blocked me, Chris Jericho blocked me, this, that, and the third. It's like, so you're basically showing us that you're a prick and a douchebag because you're so happy to be blocked by somebody. Not just because they're a wrestler, just because somebody blocked you. I will never understand that. And guys, that's not cool. I don't understand what pleasure you're getting at that, because there are some people out there who just love to antagonize people. And you want to have this pleasure to say, I got blocked by someone. So you're that annoying. You're that annoying to get blocked and then praise about it. Like with this girl. She just kept going on and on in my DMs about how I'm not a Becky fan. And because she's pregnant, this, that, and the third. I blocked her because she's annoying. I block people when they are annoying. That's just what they do. But if you're that person who gets excited when they're getting blocked by someone, especially on that level, I'm sorry, but you're a fucking idiot. Okay, so I'm in the baking process. Guys, if you don't know what baking is, I basically just got powder under my eyes so I don't have any creasing. Just a little makeup tip for y'all. Y'all know the drill. I'm going to keep on contouring. I'll be back. Alright, so here's the final look. As you can see, I put my Becky shirt on because I had to prove that I'm a Becky fan, damn it. I'm sorry, I'm being a dick. But this is the final look. I feel like I did a really good job recreating it. I wish I had lashes. My puny lashes can only do so much, but I feel like I did a really good job with the blend. Well, obviously the blending's on point, but with the color combinations, I didn't have the sticky stars Sasha had on the side, so I just used liquid highlighter to put where she had the stars. But I feel like I did a good job. Let me know if there's, I don't know, something else that I could have probably done. But yeah, this is the final look. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry if I was harsh on some topics or anything, but we are already a strange community. You know, when we talk to people who are not in the wrestling community, who have not watched wrestling for years, or is not really a fan of the product, or easily to say, oh, that's fake, that's scripted. We're already defending this sports entertainment of that we love. So are we already in the community? We're already fighting with the outside. We do not need to fight in the inside. And like I said, thousands of times, we are allowed to have opinions, but there's a difference between having an opinion and sounding like a dick. Now, I'm just saying, that's just me. Don't quote me on it. Let me know what you feel. Let's have a conversation. You know, drop it in the comments of what do you think? What are things about the community do we think that we should change? What are different outlooks that we should just have, I don't know. I mean, let's just have a conversation. I don't want to have arguments with people. I do not like arguing. It's just wrestling, people. It's just wrestling. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I will leave every single product I use in the description box down below. Hope you have a good day, a good week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.